welcome back to another episode of the What Everybody podcast on another beautiful What Everybody Wednesday. Welcome to the show. It's episode 70. Can you believe it? We can't believe it, but what we do know is we look forward to another 70 more, and we look forward to having all of you with us. On today's episode, we're relaxed, we're chilled. We talk about Johnny's found penny, Ryan's rain damage, and a bunch of other things. But we want you to sit back, have yourself a glass of water, maybe a glass of wine, cup of coffee, mug of beer, whatever it is you choose. We hope you enjoy the show. So with no further ado, Ryan and Johnny. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the What Everybody podcast. Hey.
Episode 70.
70. Wow. 70. 0770. 70 backwards is 07, but 70.
Wait, what?
70.
Say that again?
I was just saying that 70 backwards would be 07.
Oh, you're going all James Bond on me, huh? That'd be 007.
Well, that would be 007. But, I mean, it could technically be 007, really. You want to hear a fun story? So, like...
Sure do. Anything other than James Bond would be a great switch to the start of episode 70. Episode 70 is supposed to be exciting.
70 has a 7. And, if you in a casino and you get 3 sevens on a slot machine, you're going to win a lot of fucking money. So that'll tie into what I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
I'm superstitious. I will pick up a penny if it's a heads up penny on the ground. That's what I do. Only heads up. I won't pick up tails because I was told once that's good luck. Okay. So 2 weeks ago, I fucking find a penny heads up.
Okay.
Put it in my pocket.
You still use pennies, dude?
I don't use it. So it was in my pocket. Switched pants, moved it to the next pocket, so it's always with me. Then I lost it in my car. I was like, fuck, where did it go? I don't know where it went. Might have went outside. I opened the door to my car a couple of days after the fact. I find the penny, heads up. I take that penny. I put it back in my pocket. I do my laundry yesterday. I guess I forget to take the penny out because I take all my laundry out of the dryer.
You left it in your pants?
And what's sitting there heads up in the dryer? That penny.
Trusty penny.
So now I have that penny with me at all times.
To be continued. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If at any of the times that you revisited the penny, you found it tails up.
No.
You just leave it in the dryer?
No, I took it because it was heads up.
But if it was tails up, what would you have done?
Left it in the dryer.
You are a unique human being. I have a, you know what though? So when I was in school, I went to Ohio State.
Well, you don't think there's anything weird with the fact that it kept coming back to me heads up?
No, I think it's cool, and I have a story that relates directly to this. When I was in school, went to Ohio State. I bought. I'm not really big on school spirit or whatever, but I got a keychain there, and it was just like a little keychain, little football field keychain. It's cool. Whatever. So I had it on my keys. And one day I lost it. When I was in Cherry Monroe, my old band, we would rehearse.
The keychain?
A keychain. Yeah, just like car keys.
Was it a bottle opener on that keychain?
Sure wasn't. Imagine this. Bear with me.
College keychain.
If Johnny, no. If Johnny the Interrupter just follows his story, it's going to go right into your trusty penny. So in Cherry Monroe, we used to rehearse at Frankie, the other guitar player's house. He had a house with like a parking, like a driveway parking and everything. And I discovered, I lost my keychain. So I go outside and I'm looking everywhere for it, looking everywhere. I know I had it and I know that's where I dropped it. It's like, well, it's got to be here. Couldn't find it. Bummed. So I lost my keychain. So that was in like summer, fall, whatever. Winter comes. Next summer comes around. By this time, I just totally had forgotten about it. I pull into his driveway this one day for a rehearsal or hanging out or whatever we're doing. I step out of my car. I look down directly when I put my foot onto the ground. what do I find there? My keychain sitting in his driveway.
How long after the fact was this?
Months, dude. It, like I said, like it was like over the winter, like snow had come and like, shoveled the driveway.
It
all
froze in the snow. Yeah.
No, I didn't lose it in the snow. I'm saying like since I lost it, like the season of winter passed, so there's like shoveling and stuff involved. So I pick up the keychain and it's like kind of dinged up. It definitely got a little bit of road wear on it through it, whatever experience it went through, but I still have it to this day. I could show it to you if you'd like to see.
I'd love to see it.
Okay. Do you think you can hold the fort down while I go get it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'll be right back. Hang on.
So Ryan's gone and I'm here by myself, and I have not really run solo on this podcast before. So I'm going to try to run solo. Let's see. I could tell some classless jokes, but that'd probably be bad. But what I do got to say is, hey, hello. And the day this comes out, it's episode 70. Can you believe it? 70. Who would have ever thought that Ryan Harris and I would have gotten to fucking 70? All right, I'm glad I don't have to talk anymore.
I had my headphones in. I was listening to the whole thing, man. You're terrible at that. All right, so keychain. So first of all, got a Kiss keychain. That's pretty rad. Go to the YouTube, you can see it. No, but this is it right here. It's just like this little guy. Little Ohio State football field.
Is it longer than that, or are you just showing me the whole length of it? That's tiny. Yeah, but how come there's no keys on it?
Oh, because I'm holding the keys.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't have my car keys on here because they're just like, it's a big fob. It's like kind of clunky. I don't know. Awkward.
I have a question for you.
Anyway, I'm out of breath. I just ran downstairs and upstairs. I got 2 floors in this house because I'm rich.
Maybe you should go to the cardiologist and make sure you don't have a blood clot in the valve or something.
Nah, I'm good, dude. I'm good. It's just that I've been sitting here. I've been sitting here all freaking day.
I have a question.
While my abs digest themselves in front of my computer screen. Anyways, what's your question? Yeah, I digress. Cool story, though. Cool story about the penny. It's kind of neat. I think that stuff's neat.
No, I thought it was pretty neat that it just kept coming back to me, heads up. But here's the thing. One of my football podcasts that I listened to about the Philadelphia Eagles, they recently went to YouTube. And they were talking yesterday because they're all like self-conscious. They're like, see how fat I look on this? Look how fat I look. I'm not fat. I look fat. I have people texting me how fat I look. And they're like, they do it live. So there's no editing. So they do it live, and they do it like real early in the mornings. And they've just woken up and shit like that. Kind of like us.
It's like
my question to you is, so does the YouTube make me look fat?
No, because you're not fat. You know what makes that guy look fat? I don't know him. I'm not shit talking, but I'm assuming he's fat.
Probably or heavier set, maybe. I don't think he's a fat guy. That's the funny thing. He's not. It's the weirdest thing.
Camera adds 10 pounds.
What if I turn sideways? If I turn sideways, do I look fat? Or just my nose looks really big?
I'm not making any comment here, man. I'm not making any comment on that. Well,
Hey, I'll wear my big nose.
Can I borrow your trusty good luck penny whenever I come back to my apartment in a couple of days?
Let's talk about that. So last week, everybody, we were talking about on the pod, or shall I say the last podcast, so that about what, 2 weeks ago. Ryan was worried about the rain in Los Angeles messing up his apartment.
Yeah.
Because he, in November, there was a rainstorm while I wasn't around. I didn't see it, so I don't know the extent of the powerfulness of this rainstorm. However,
it was not called
Ryan Harris here.
Bomb cyclone, that's for sure. It was just rain in November.
Right. So he had a flooding issue. They were supposed to take care of it. Ryan's been gone this whole entire time. The last time we talked on the podcast, he said he had talked to the people at the apartment complex, and they said everything was fine. I got a text from him yesterday or the day before that said, so I just got a thing from my landlord telling me that my apartment potentially isn't fine and that there's been flooding in the apartment. So Ryan Harris, please, by all means, let your neurosis take over here and fill us in. What's going on?
First of all, thank you for taking the burden of that description. It saved me from having to do it again. I appreciate that. But no, I was so like I had my bedroom got wet in November, like the floor got wet and the carpet got wet a little bit, and I had to move some things around and let it dry out for a couple of days. And it was maybe like 4 or 5 days of rain. So I text out of nervousness like 2 weeks ago, maybe, during bomb cyclone, like, I'm concerned. Is there going to be flooding in my apartment? And I got a reply saying that he checked and everything was okay. And I don't know if that means he went into my apartment. I'm assuming he didn't because he didn't ask me. But fast forward to literally after we did that podcast, I checked my email and it was like, it was an email to the whole building. So it wasn't to me personally. It was just saying it's completely unacceptable, but the building is just simply not built for this kind of weather. I'm assuming that means probably means the roof just gets like baked with the sun over the years. And then when it rains, it has leaks, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a handyman, but it just makes me think that I'm going to be going back to a flooded room.
Well, what will you do if you do?
Well, one of the comments in the email was, I will help you with as much as I can with any insurance claims that need filed and that kind of stuff.
So what insurance? So you gotta go through your insurance to fix their fucking problems, as opposed to them. They fucked up. So why do you have to go make an insurance claim and have your insurance go up when in reality they were supposed to fix something?
I think something changed a couple of years ago in Los Angeles because when I first moved there, you didn't have to have renter's insurance, and now you do. And I think it's like an inside versus outside thing. They'll fix outside things. They won't fix inside things. I don't know. That's a good question.
It's obviously on the outside. Well, hear me out. It's obviously a problem on the outside if it's hitting on the inside.
You didn't say that right, but I know what you mean. And yeah, like the roof is outside.
Well, how did I not say that?
Problem on the inside.
If they're responsible for what's on the outside of the building,
mm-hmm.
and you're responsible for what's on the inside of the building, then if it rains and the rain gets inside, that would mean the problem was on the outside. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gotten on the inside.
I have no idea how they decipher that, but all I know is I just don't want to show up to like a hassle, dude. Just be easy. Just be easy. Can something just be easy, Johnny? That's my wish for this new year.
I'm sure there's a lot of people in my life that could sit there and just say to me personally, can you just fucking be easy for once?
There's probably a lot of people listening to me bitch about a little bit of water being like, dude, it's not that big of an issue. It's really not that big of an issue.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're complaining about your little bit of flooding issue, and then people's houses in Northern California got ripped down and shit.
There's like there's cars floating down the street, and I'm like, my bed got wet.
People dying and stuff.
You know what? I'm very, very, I don't know if happy is the right word, but I would be freaking out if, so I normally just as a space saver, put all my guitars under the bed when they're home, but, the bed that I bought, you can't put anything underneath it. So I put my guitars in the closet, which is like hopefully away from the trouble area. If my guitars were on the floor, I'd be freaking out right now because they'd just be sitting there in puddles.
Yeah.
But also I'm making all this hypothetical crap up, and I'm not going to let it stress me.
There might not be any damage whatsoever.
Might be none.
Speaking of rain, with all that rain that we had last week, we had another crazy storm.
Again? I thought it was dry. I thought it was drier out now.
It is this week, but all of the week when we talked last, we had just had the first installment of the big storm. We had a second one this past weekend, and I was driving down Sunset Boulevard, and it was empty. It was fucking just empty. And what it reminded me of was that time. I always think about this. It was like, it's weird. It's such a weird time, those 2 years of the pandemic. But I remember specifically right before you went back to Pittsburgh, you and I went down for a walk from your apartment all the way down to the Rainbow and back. Mm-hmm. And I just remember there was absolutely nobody whatsoever on the roads. And it was just so eerie. Daytime, Los Angeles, midweek, Sunset Boulevard, ghost town, like
Ghost
fucking
town.
ghost town. And last week I was driving down Sunset, and in the rain, it just been raining so much that it had gotten to the point where people just didn't leave the house anymore. And it had gotten to the point where it felt like it was that day that you and I walked down the street. So there's my little rain story for you, you know. So what do you think about episode 70? What do we got for the people today?
We're off to a hot start. I'll tell you what, we're off to a hot start. I'm having a good time. I try to, I try not to play up the celebration of numbers and things like that too much, because the one time we had a podcast for your birthday and I decorated, and it really was like kind of.
I feel so bad about that to this day.
It felt really flat. So I'm not going to do any of that kind of big showboating for
maybe
for
flat.
100.
Let's call it what it is. It was flat because of me that day. I remember, and it's funny you mentioned that, because right before you mentioned it, like you mentioned that I'm not going to put up any decorations, I immediately thought about that birthday episode. And one of the things that really bothers me about my behavior that day, because I was really bummed that it was my birthday and that I was getting older. I remember specifically I was not in a good mood that day. And what makes me feel even worse,
I was just trying to celebrate.
This is what makes me feel the worst about all of that.
You shit on your friend's
idea. Is that you
idea?
said that your mother went out and got balloons for my birthday, and you went through the effort to do that. Your mother went through the effort to fucking get the balloons, and there I am, Debbie Downer, and ruined the whole vibe. So my apologies to you and your mom.
Yeah, well, you should apologize, number one, to my mom, because she's a wonderful human.
I just did.
Number two, also, though, like, she didn't go out and
just
get 'em.
apologized to your mom. I just apologized.
I know, but it didn't feel heartfelt, you know. Anyways, I know. I accept your apology, and I'm sure she does, too. She didn't go out and get the balloons. She just gave me stuff that she had around the house. My mom's a decorator. She's the kind of person
she had balloons. She had to buy them somewhere.
She's the kind of person to be like, yo, hey, Mom, do you have a candle for this cupcake? She'd be like, come on over, honey. I'll give it to you, know.
And she gives you the cupcake and the candle.
Yeah. No kidding. Like, probably could make you you want some brownies? You know. Love you, Mom.
Does she talk like that, or is that just your
No,
imitation?
that's the voice that I'm projecting on it for her.
Can you give me an imitation of your brother Dave?
Well, you know, Dave. We sound alike. Him and I both. And the more I'm around him, the more I hear, like, so Pittsburgh has a kind of a dialect. The more I hear that coming. I've been back here since the holidays, so I'm going to come back to Los Angeles.
You've been back there for a long time. It's like, like you never came back here.
I'm going to come back. I'm going to come back with a slur. I'm going to come back with not a slur.
You came back here, and then I left out of town for a while, and then I got back from out of town, and then you left out of town. I'm like,
yeah, man, don't give me shit. Out of the past 6 months, I've been in LA for like 4 of them. And you've been there for 1, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Well,
this podcast is destined to be on Zoom.
It's weird because it's almost awkward as fuck to do it not on Zoom. Oh, by the way, Sonny wants to come in. We got to have Sonny on. Sonny wants to do it. He said when you get back, we should have all 3 of us in the room.
Listen. I'm going to speak to... Just you pipe down over there for a minute, and I'm going to speak directly to Sundog. Sundog, if you're listening, you never need to ask. You got an open invite. He's a tall drink of water.
Invite open.
He's a tall drink of water, a handsome man, talented, strong beard. Those are all qualities that this podcast accepts. Why are you can pipe up now. You don't have to give me that awkward silence. As soon as I said Sonny was a handsome man, you got weird. Okay. Wow. You have no idea. You have no idea how much I wish I could hone that silence.
Were you like, is he frozen? I can't tell. I was waiting for that point. Like,
did my shitty internet just go out?
Yeah.
Again?
The internet just fly? Hey, man.
Like,
you know,
we're talking about nothing.
Well, no. We talk about all sorts of, like, it's just us shooting the shit. It's fine. It's episode 70. We had to get it done. Ryan's getting ready to move back to LA next week, so we're on a short schedule.
Why do you keep saying move? I have a place.
He's coming back. He's coming home. He's coming back.
Yeah. I hope my stuff's not broken.
In 70 episodes, here's a good question.
Yeah.
What in the world has changed since we started from episode 1 to episode 70
I got taller.
in the world? No, yeah, I'm not talking about us personally. I'm just talking about
In the world?
the world itself. What has changed since episode 1 to episode 70? We started in the pandemic, so maybe we could say the pandemic kind of ended. I mean, I guess it's still there. Everybody's still getting COVID, but we just live with it now.
Yeah. Just for
Donald Trump is no longer the president of the United States. I think he was the president when we started this.
No.
By the time we started our first episode, he'd already not
No.
president anymore.
Yeah, not president.
When we came up with the idea, when we started to sit down and plan this, he was still president.
We got new microphones. They sound better. I think we sound better than we did episode 1.
We got new microphones, and if you're listening to the audio version, this is how you can do the test. Anytime you hear the anchor ad that comes on of me during our episode, I'm using my old microphone. You can hear the difference.
You want to know, so on the topic of that, and I'm not trying to avoid your question, but like I went back and watched episode 1. There are some mistakes, man. Not on the Gulch's part. I'd like to have the Gulch back with better microphones and have like a quality conversation.
Remember we had to do Gulch? That's so funny in hindsight. We had to do Gulch twice because the first time we had such technical difficulties. I think he wasn't doing it from his bathroom, but it sounded like he was doing it from
It's been a learning curve, baby. That's all I can say. What's changed? We've gotten better at some things. But you're not talking about us.
Dude, I had the technical shit fucking figured out perfectly there, and then for the last couple of weeks, my technical skills have gone out the fucking window like they never existed.
Yeah, you're a squirrel. It's all good. It's all good.
In the world, I mean, there's been a war going on with the Ukraine and Russia. That's been going on since we started. You know, hopefully we outlive that war. Meaning the podcast. If that makes sense. Yeah, now
see what I did there? See what I did there? I was pulling the silent thing there. That's like
I totally was like, is he frozen? No, I think he's fucking with me. What else we got? What else has happened? It's just been a crazy, crazy time from there to here. You know,
well, it's kind of cool because, like, in a way, like, you know, we talk about music a lot, but we also talk about just stuff that's going on. So I would imagine at a point, if I felt like getting reflective, I can go back upon our 70 episodes and see a little timeline of things. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. You know, I should go back and listen. You know, sometimes I listen and I hear myself and I'm like, I can't believe I said that. I can't listen. You know, but sometimes I
gotta
listen,
hear
I'm
the
like,
shit I
that was
cut
funny.
out, bud.
Oh, I'm sure. I listen and it turns out that you crack me up a lot when I'm listening.
I'm a funny guy.
I've learned that I knew that. I just didn't know if it came across, but you say some funny shit. There's your little sly fucking little left hooks here and there.
Thanks, Chuck.
Yeah, buddy. I think it's we've had some changes from our dynamics, you know, like from like talking about people doing stupid shit to more music. I remember when we started, we wanted to try to shy away from music if we could, because that's something we do all the time. And after 70 episodes, we find ourselves right back into like, well, we really know about music, so that's what we talk about.
It's just interesting. Music's just fun to talk about for me, and I feel that you're in the same boat. So I don't want to talk about it all the time, but I want to talk about it a lot of the time. You know. And
we know a lot about it. You know.
And hey, I mean, if you're out there and you're listening, and you got a better idea, hit us up. We could use the help. You know. See what I did there?
Yeah, absolutely. No, we do need the help.
Bro,
I
our
do want to let
weird today, man. It's cool though. It's cool. What are you saying?
You know, I'm being mellow today. I'm a mellow guy today. You know.
Yeah. Just don't forget to speak into the
microphone. I was saying that, you know, I was actually going to acknowledge that is what I was going to say. I was going to say that episode 70 isn't the most like, hey, we got all this for you today stuff, but you're getting, you know, Jonny and Ryan at the Realist.
At the Realz.
And started with episode 71 and stuff going forward. You know, Ryan's going to be back and we might be back in the same room again. Hopefully, I hope so. But what we can do is, bring back some of those old things. I want to go back. It's been a while. Let's go find some people doing some stupid shit and
Well, like fart videos.
See what we use. Well, what's those
like
instant
we used to
karma
do the
videos.
Yo Dummy. Yo Dummy is a great.
The Yo
segment,
Dummies,
dude.
right?
We gotta have more Yo Dummies.
The Yo Dummies, remember, and the unveiling of people having babies and the dude like shooting himself in the nuts, or the guy with the bottle rocket out of his ass. That was a good one. That one still makes me laugh.
I will tell you that Sam's butt rocket is still to this day my favorite video. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it was episode, what was it? Three.
Was it that? Was it episode 3?
It was episode 3.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah. So what's that? 67 episodes ago, we were talking about Sam's butt
Wow.
rocket.
Jesus. Let's bring it back.
We should.
That cracks me up.
You know what I had
We
to do?
should.
That got pulled down off of YouTube, and I realized it was because the video shows his butt, and YouTube's like, no, can't do that. We're gonna yank it. So I had to go back in.
How many babies' asses have you seen in TV commercials, by the way? It's a butt. What's the difference?
It's a weird thing. Yeah, it's a weird. Well, I was also kind of like, he was like, hold your sock back. But I had to go back into that video. Speaking of what's changed and what I've learned, I learned how to blur out somebody's butt. And then I reposted the video. So I'd appreciate it if everyone would go back and watch episode 3, and you can see my learning process of blurring out
that.
Yeah, blurring out Sam's butt.
But we're gonna make this one a short one today. I got a rehearsal in about 10 minutes, and I just wanted to jump on here with you, Ryan Harrison.
We can end the podcast when your homies walk in the door, huh?
Yeah, we could do that. I'd rather not.
Okay. Cut that out.
Well, no, because then I'm gonna be like, hey, all right, cool, later. Hey guys, hey, it's all loud and crazy and then distracting and
yeah. You were gonna say something.
But yeah, man, I was just gonna say that it's a short one today. We get on here, we say hello. You guys know we're here with you, and we hope you had a great week. And that next episode, we will be starting. You could think of it as season 3, but it really is still just one long season. And
I think you're wrong. No, that'd be 70. That'd be 75. So you messed up there.
75 there. Okay. All right. So we're close. All right. So we're gonna end season 2 off.
We're gonna just not include any of that.
So this is what we're already in season 3 then. So if it's 25 episodes apiece, and we're on episode 69, and we have 5 more to the next season, that means we're like almost done season 3.
Sure.
Well, 25 season 1, 50 would be season 2. Then the 75 would be season 3. Anyway, whatever. It is what it is. Next week, we're going to come back, though. We're going to give you Ryan Harris back in Los Angeles.
Yeah, hey, dude.
We're going to go over the return of Yo Dummy.
Before I see you're trying to wrap this up. I see. But real quick, before I left, I put some wallpaper on the wall, so it won't be quite so boring as we did one episode from there. I don't want to talk about the same way. Let's wrap it up in a better way.
Well, you know what? I got to be honest. If we want to talk about that really quick, my own personal opinion by the in-person episodes, I think when we do it in the rehearsal room with the amps behind us, it looks cooler.
Yeah.
Although we do have to figure out how we might just need to use one microphone. How we're going to do that.
Well,
right?
No, you don't have to. You don't have to use one microphone. I just have to soundproof it better.
All right, this is technical jargon. People don't want
this podcast turned into
people don't want to hear
talk,
about
man.
this.
Yeah, technical talk is stupid.
Well, and the name of this podcast episode is called Technical Difficulties. And with that being said, thank you for joining us on this nice short 30-minute episode of the Whatever Buddy podcast. This might be our shortest. And if it isn't our shortest, it sure as hell felt like it was our shortest. Probably because we didn't talk about much of anything.
I would just like to say that, jeez, well, at least we still have that. A short episode is better.
I didn't even smoke anything. That was a legitimate cough.
That was just a legit schnot. A short episode.
Hey, I do want to thank everybody who stuck with us through 70 episodes, by the way.
I would like to thank those same people for coming back to 71.
Yes. And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, Thank you for popping in on the What Everybody podcast. I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as we've enjoyed ourselves. Make sure you like, subscribe, and report. And we shall see you next week. And in the meantime, you guys have a great week, and we will talk to you soon.
See ya.